What's going on YouTube? It's Orca from Fearless Orca Tactical. Today we're reviewing the Ruger Precision Rifle, chambered in .308. Alright, so here's our 3-shot group. It's kind of probably hard to see, but first shot, second shot, and then like I said, I pulled that last one up here. But I mean, we're looking at, without a tape on me, 1.5 inch group. Again, it's really windy right now. Not bad for not really having the right optic on there, but it'll get the job done. The Ruger Precision looks familiar to a lot of you out there. It's loosely based on an AR platform. You got your similar style pistol grip, receiver, very similar. Even your foreguard furniture is very similar to what you find on an AR, which for me is a plus because I really shoot ARs most of the time, really like the guns. So having this being very similar to that made this easy to pick up right away and be on target. You know, you've even got your similar selector switch, safe to fire, just like an AR. The difference here being this only flips about 45 degrees versus 90 degrees in your AR platform. But still, the familiarity with this is a big plus in my opinion. The trigger that Ruger put in the Precision rifle, I think they trademarked the trigger as a Ruger Marksman trigger, similar to what you'd find in your Savage Accu triggers or the Lightning trigger offered by another company. So what you got here essentially is that blade in the front. Once that hits the trigger, it's pretty much like glass. This thing just breaks. You can set it between 2.25 and 5.75 pounds, I believe. Right now I think it's set at just around 2.5. But that thing is so crisp. I really love the trigger on this rifle. Another great thing about this rifle is the smoothness of the bolt. This thing just rats back and forth. It doesn't hem up anywhere. There's no sticky parts. Out of the box, I felt this thing just like butter. Another neat feature with the bolt itself is if you collapse the stock to the side, you have this neat little compartment in the rear. Give it a quarter turn, pop it open. It's got your Allen key here, which helps for takedown of the bolt to get to your firing pin, as well as this is the same size Allen key you would need to do any trigger adjustments as far as the weight of the trigger. I think that's really neat that Ruger puts that in the bolt group design. That way it's not something you have to remember to bring with you to the range or remember to put in a pack. It's always there with you as long as you've got your rifle and bolt. Really neat job with that. I really like the stock Ruger puts on the Precision series. It's collapsible, folds over to the side, which still allows you to shoot if you want. I wouldn't personally, but you could. You've also got your adjustments for your cheek rise, up and down, as well as forward and backward. That's a little more tricky to move, but you've got those adjustments there. And then you just tighten it down and it's in place. You've also got adjustments back here for the length of pull for your trigger, all the way from 12 to 15.5 inches. Sorry, I put this in the wrong position. Harder to get to, but you unlock it, it slides back and forth just the same way as the cheek rest. You've also got attachments down here, Picatinny rail, if you wanted to add something, stabilizer or anything down there. The recoil pad on this thing is a dream. Really sucks up a lot of that felt recoil. Because of the trigger and all the adjustments made to the stock, width, height, cheek rise, this thing is easy to shoot. I would say for anybody. It was a joy for me to take out and sight in this optic with this thing today. I really enjoyed shooting this thing. And if 308 wasn't so expensive, I would have done a lot more shooting today. A big concern I have with the precision rifle is the weight of this thing. It's 9 pounds 12 ounces unloaded without an optic on it. Once you load this thing up with a magazine and you put glass on top, you're well over 10 pounds in this thing. If you're going to take this out hunting, slinging it over your back and trekking through the woods, you need to take that into consideration. If you're getting this as the sole purpose is for long range precision shooting, that's not really going to be an issue, because you're pretty much going to put it on a stand or a breast, bipod or something like that, and then just sit it where you're at and start taking shots. But if you're looking at this as a DMR or your go-to-war rifle, or you're going to take it hunting, you need to take into consideration that this is a heavy firearm. Another thing I really don't like, if I had to pick some bad things about the Ruger Precision, the grip they put on here. It's very cheap, hollow, reminiscent to your mil-spec AR-15 pistol grip, but Ruger branded. I kind of wish Ruger, if they were going to put their own grip on this gun, being that it is a precision rifle, they would have put a little bit more time and effort into getting a better feeling grip. One of the issues I have with this rifle is the length. At its shortest, it's about 40 inches long. Then you can extend this stock out to the rear and it can get even longer. Another issue is the width. When you collapse down the stock, this thing gets to 3.5 inches wide. That can be an issue when looking for a case to put this gun in or a bag. You really have to know your dimensions on this gun, because it's not going to fit everything. Alright guys, here are my final thoughts on the Ruger Precision, this one chambered in 308. I really love the design style. It's modeled after an AR platform. I love ARs, so having this be very similar is really useful to me and a big time plus. The bolt on this gun is so smooth. There's really nowhere where it feels gritty. I really like how easy it is to rack that next round and eject. Great bolt. There's a great bolt in this rifle. The biggest pro for me on the Ruger Precision has got to be the Ruger Marksman trigger that they have on here, similar to what Savage makes, their Accu trigger, or Remington or Mossberg, I can't remember, the lightning bolt trigger. They're all basically the same thing, but this one feels so good in this gun. You got your blade, and then when you get to the wall, it's like glass on this thing. So good, so smooth with trigger, no complaints there whatsoever. Really helps with accuracy. Cons, guys, honestly, it was hard to find cons with the Ruger Precision. I really like this rifle. But if I had to pick a few, it would definitely be the weight. It's a heavy 308. There are other 308s out there on the market that are a lot lighter, but don't have as many great features like this gun. So, I mean, you got to sacrifice somewhere, but yeah, it's a heavy rifle, don't get me wrong. The pistol grip that comes on this is pretty cheap to me. I feel like for what the cost of this gun is, Ruger could have given you a better pistol grip, but that's something that's easily interchangeable. There's tons of AR grips out there on the market. This falls in with those and can be replaced with anything that you find. The biggest con I have with the Ruger Precision, guys, is my limited time with it. Unfortunately, this is not my rifle. It was loaned to me for test and review and to sight in the optic up here. so I have to give it back to its owner at some point, which is going to be sad because I really, really enjoy this rifle. So much so that I think it will be in my collection in the near future. Thanks again for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this video, and as always, we have to defend the second so we can protect the first. Alright, so I think I got her sighted in with the optic cap. There it goes.